Good morning, good morning. It is Ty, the LinkedIn guy, here, live in Tokyo, Japan. This week in Japan, it's really cool. It's called Golden Week. There's like 10 days, public holidays in Japan. Japan kind of shuts down for that time. Also, we're getting a new emperor. Today is the last day of the current era of the current emperor, and tomorrow we get a new emperor. There you go. Today, what I want to speak about is something that I've kind of noticed happen quite often when I speak with business owners, especially for someone who's been in business for, 5, 10, 15 years or more. What tends to happen is that over time, they're adding extra services, extra products to their business lineup. The problem is after about several years of doing that, and they kind of look back, the message of what their business is about and who they serve and who gets outcomes for them gets diluted, right? It gets diluted because you're trying to be everything for everybody, right? And what I say to that, a quick fix, especially when on LinkedIn, is that you've got to reduce to produce. And what I mean is you really have to focus on a couple of core services or products, and LinkedIn is going to represent the channel that you promote, that you try to sell those products and services through. Now, I know there's a lot of fear in doing that. A lot of people feel, well, if I cut this service and I've cut that service, people don't know I have this and people don't know I offer this, they're not going to come to me. Well, it's actually totally the opposite, because what you're probably noticing when you have all these multi-services and multi-products, no one really knows what you stand for. Even yourself, you may not have that clear anymore. And what it means is you can't leverage yourself anymore, because what's happening is that you're going from project to project or service to service or selling product to product, and there's no kind of repeat business. There's no way to then have a really firm established referral network of people, because you're just not seen as the absolute expert in that. And that can be a real problem, because the inbound side of your business, that's the gravy on top, right? We want that. We want more people to send us other people, or we simply want to be known as the expert in that field. And in particular on LinkedIn, I see this so often with profiles where the owner of the profile has got so many different services that their profile ends up not speaking to any of their ideal client avatars. And generally it's a resume anyway, which is no good, because what's a resume used for, guys? It's used for getting a job. What you're trying to do is get clients or get leads, get into discussions with ideal client avatars. So these profiles start to get very confusing. And if I was your ideal client and I land on your profile, and I can't see myself in that profile, I can't see a problem that I'm likely to have and that you have the solution. If I can't see that very quickly, I'm going off your profile. You've got about 7 seconds before people will click off your profile. Just look at the way that you behave on LinkedIn when you look at people. Are you staying there? And, if the profile is quite confusing or has all these different services and products and appeals to all these different people, are you, weeding your, what's the word? Are you going through that profile to look, is this person a fit for me? No, you're not. You're just like, whatever. And that's the same, that's really vital on LinkedIn. You've got to reduce your focus. You have to have clarity of your message, and you have to stand for something, right? Stand for a product, stand for a service. And, I've seen multiple examples of this where it's really changed someone's business once they've come in, especially when I've been coaching with them, and we do this right at the start. Right? We work out who are your ideal client avatars and what's that offer that you want to bring to market. Because the fact is, the offers that get the highest conversions on LinkedIn, the offers that get the most interest, are those that are really solving that kind of bleeding neck problem, right? you walk into a doctor's surgery, you've got, a bleeding neck, you're going to take that bandage straight away. You're not just going to say, well, let me kind of look around, let me shop, and let's see how we go with this bleeding neck. No, you're not going to do that. And it's the same on LinkedIn. Now, it doesn't mean that opportunity style offers don't convert. They do. They do convert. It's a longer cycle, longer process. However, certainly if you're in a service provider or a product provider that solves a bleeding neck problem, that most of your avatars are likely to have it, then that's what you've got to go to market with. And your profile should all be about that, right? And I know that even if you have all these other services that surround that, just keep the focus on LinkedIn to, a handful of key services where there's a common thread between them all, and that it's one that is preferably it solves a bleeding neck problem, because you'll just get the highest conversions in terms of getting into connections, getting into messaging, and then getting people off LinkedIn into your sales calls. Now, if you don't have that clear or that clarity in your message, you can't describe and articulate what you do very succinctly, there's probably a problem. You are probably suffering from this now, that you have too many services, too many products, and you don't have the focus. So you've got to step back and say, okay, what am I going to go to market with? And I think these kind of questions are the best ones to kind of ask yourself. Think of, okay, who do you like serving the most? Who do you like? What kind of client have you enjoyed serving the most? I'm at an age, almost 45, where I don't want to work with people that aren't committed and decisive about fixing their problems. I don't want to work with people that aren't resourceful. I don't want to work with people that aren't coachable. I don't care if they're funny or nice or whatever. I just want people that are absolutely committed and decisive. I want them to be resourceful. I want them to be coachable. So start to think of your product and service in terms of the people that you want to service. After that, ask yourself, which one of those services, which one of those products that you offer get you the best margins, right? Is the easiest to sell? And more importantly, is the one that solves the largest bleeding neck problem that your ideal client avatars are likely to suffer from. And then go with that, right? So that's a real, some questions to really ask yourself, okay? What avatar you like working with, what product or service solves their largest bleeding neck problem, gives you good margins, easy, or easier for you to deliver, and one that you can leverage and do it over and over and over and over, and then go with that. Right. And as I said, you may have multiple services. There's got to be a common theme. But if you're trying to present yourself on LinkedIn as you're the one-shop stop for everything, unfortunately, you're just not going to get anyone. Yeah. But when you niche down and you specify that, then you've got a fighting chance on LinkedIn, organically in particular, to have impact. And one of my clients, Don, he's a CPA. When he came to me, he was just the CPA. And what we did, we focused him to then really niche down into the real estate market and become the CPA for realtors. And then a number of their key services, that's what he's pushing. Now, he was able to get 12 clients in a 2-week period because he's now focused and niched in that area. And when people land on him, when he goes and taps on the shoulders of these particular ideal client avatars, these realtors, they understand instantly why he's tapping on their shoulder. They get it, right? They're like, okay, I can see he's this and I'm that. This is who he provides services to. That's me. Wow. Okay, let me read more. That's how you're going to hook these people. Another classic example, one of my clients, former clients and friend mentor now, that I've mentored, Marius, he came to me back in the day and he wanted to do like gyms and stuff on LinkedIn. Gym, no, doesn't work, guy. Gym owners, they're just not active. But then really focused in the mortgage broker industry and reframed, repositioned, and just offering that key service. Then offering a couple of others, like a done-for-you service and a kind of teaching service. That absolutely skyrocketed his business. He went from 0 clients off LinkedIn to getting 15 clients, 6 clients in 1 week. And these are clients that are 2.5K a month reoccurring revenues. And it's because he reduced all the different services that he may be able to offer, all the different clients that he may be able to offer it to. And then you really just say, well, this is who I serve. Now, you can add and subtract different avatars as your business develops. Maybe you find that you don't resonate well with this type of avatar. Maybe you find out that your product or service doesn't really solve that problem that you thought it did. Doesn't matter. You can pivot easily, you can reform, you can reposition yourself, and then you can go to market. But I really highly suggest on LinkedIn, your profile has to be a client-facing profile that talks to them. They've got to see themselves in your profile. It's not about you. It's not a resume. It's about them. It's about what service you provide, how you provide it, what outcomes they can expect, what other people are saying about your service. And it solves that bleeding neck problem. And as I said, keep it focused, keep it narrow to a couple of key services or a couple of key products that have that common thread. And that's what you want to be known as. And you just hammer in there on LinkedIn. You get in there and you be known for that. All right. So move away from having all these multi-services, multi-products. It's not going to get you anywhere. I know it can be really scary to say, okay, I'm not going to talk about, 3 of the 5 services that I have. I know that's really scary because you think I'm going to lose all that business. But if you're not getting it anyway, then you're not going to be losing anything. But I've seen it over and over and over again when my clients reduce, they produce. They just do. Yeah. So if you're in that state where the message of what you are and who you help doesn't have clarity, it could be a case of that you're offering too many services, too many products. You've diluted your specialty and you've diluted the message in the market. So you've got to get rid of that. You can still offer it to clients once you get them, but go to market with the offer that captures people, that hooks people. And then as you deliver on that service and do an awesome job, you slip in, well, I offer this as well, and I offer this other services. The old upsell. It is better to do that than try to have everything on your LinkedIn and not have that focus. Guarantee it. It will change the way that you do business. It will get you results, and I've seen it over and over and over again with my clients. So, guys, time to kind of give up the fear, reduce your offer, get that clarity, reframe your positioning on LinkedIn, be known for that, and go after that. All right, I hope that gives you some food for thought. I'm out of here. I've got some calls to do. I'll see you guys later. Bye.